Hi guys, it's Rachel from the Rose Shed. Today I'm going to be talking you through how you can make your very own Christmas door wreath. You should have your door wreath subscription box with you now, which has all the components that you need to make your own wreath. Filled with lots of gorgeous foliage, moss, you've got your wire ring and a real wire. You can also add in lots of other bits that you've got from the garden, but I will talk you all through it as we go along. It's going to be a very easy step-by-step process. I'm going to talk you through, guide you through, and then you will end up with your, amazing door wreath that you can be proudly hung on the door afterwards. What I'm going to start with first is you have your wire ring. We've also got a reel of wire. You want to attach this first, so grab the outside of your ring and bind the wire on just a few times. Make sure it's nice and secure. What we're going to do is end up with mossing your wreath, so it looks like this. So you'll have your moss, you want to get handfuls of the moss. It might be a bit dry because it would have been posted out to you or hand delivered, so that's absolutely fine. But at the end of this, you might want to give it just a soap on the tap, just to give it that moisture back. Grab the moss in your hand, squish it up. You might have twigs, it is a live living thing. So chuck the twigs on the floor, that's fine. Grab it in a handful, you want to place over where you've just been with the wire and bind this on securely. Every time you bring the wire around, just give it a pull so your moss is tightly secured onto your frame. I like this bit, it's nice and therapeutic, getting your hands dirty, that's what it's about. So yeah, just keep going. Grab another handful, place it over where you've just been, bind it on. It's a really just the same motion going along really. So it's a nice therapeutic bit. You can just switch off, forget about whatever the hell's going on in the world and just completely concentrate on your own creation. So yeah, just keep going with the moss. Doesn't matter, it's going to be a bit dirty. You want your surface, don't worry if you get the dirt, you can just put tablecloth on or something. So yeah, just keep going. Main thing is just make sure it's secure, make sure it's tight. If you get a few straggly bits hanging down, that's fine, don't worry. It's going to be hidden in the end of the foliage. So it's not like you're hanging that on the wall. This is just our base. Good thing about moss is that it holds water. It's also environmentally friendly, so it's not oasis like you see that green spongy wreath rings that you can get. They're really bad for the environment. You can reuse this ring afterwards next year, so take it all apart and keep the frame. So it's a really environmentally friendly way of making a Christmas wreath, which obviously we're all a bit more conscious now. That's the kind of way that we all want to head down. Okay, so that is our step one, I would say. And then you end up with your fully mossed ring. Just put the rubbish on the floor. It probably won't be so messy in your own home workshop, you can get away with it. Cool, so we've got our ring. Next thing you want to do is get your foliage. So in the kits, if they've been posted, this may be cut already to size, or if they are delivered, they'll come like this. So this is blue spruce, smells amazing. It is like Christmas in a plant. You just can't help but not think Christmas with this. This is like the base of your wreath. It's a really kind of sturdy, it lasts for the foliage. It's really good Christmassy foliage. What you want to do is cut them into sections like that. I'd say they're about 10 centimetres. This is the kind of thing we want to end up with afterwards. So this will give you something to gauge for. So think, 10 to 15 centimetres. I always cut all the pieces first. So I get my piles of foliage, snip down. You can get lots of bits off the same thing, and you end up with this bit, just chuck it on the floor. So lots of pine bits. Gather them all in sections if you're neat, or just chuck them on the desk. See how, neat a worker you are. Again, this is pine, so you can do the same thing. Cut it to go down the stem and cut it into smaller pieces. it's cool because you've got like little pine cones on, so that's a really lovely feature. And then when you've got the thick bit, just throw that on the floor. So yeah, you're beginning to see how you're making little bunches, which are the base of your wreath. So here we've got the blue spruce, we've got pine. This is gorgeous, I love this, and it really makes a wreath. It's wild thyme, so it kind of dries out. Smells lovely too, but it's just that wispy kind of natural foliage, which when it's amongst your other kind of more sturdy foliage, just gives it that texture and movement. I think that's beautiful. So yeah, that's one of my favourite foliages to use. What else we've got pistache, which is lovely. It's like a darker green, so it just adds more depth, you know, compared to the paler Christmas green. So again, get your biggest stem and just go down and chop them into sort of 10, 12, 15 centimetre smaller bits. Okay, so now we've got all our bits. You will do all of your foliage, so get it all ready, and then when you start making your bunches, you can then go through the whole wreath. But I'm just going to be showing you this section now. When you've done your moss, I should have said earlier, keep your real wire attached, because we're then going to use the white to bind the foliage on. So what we want to do, get your first bunch. The blue spruce, I always use that as a base because it's sturdy. Yeah, it's just really sturdy base, holds the other foliage on top. You want to pull the bottom pins off, so just go down like that with your hand. Your nails will start off looking lovely and end up a bit scruffy, but that's just part of floristry. We're used to it, which is why I haven't painted mine, but yeah, you should see them at the end of December. Cool, so yeah, blue spruce, bit of pistache, get another bit of spruce, create that little bunch in your hand. If you want, grab a little section at a time, and you can just stick it out that bit further. So some people will prefer their wreaths neater and they're just really meticulous about how they make their bunches. Other people will be a lot more haphazard, natural, wild. So it's completely up to you how your natural stance would go. I wouldn't think too much about it because I think you're either one way or the other. So there's my first bunch. Keep all the ends neat and like together. So when you then lay them down and like kind of push them into the moss bit, it's all neat, they're all facing the same way, and it's easy to wire on. So I'm wiring on my first bunch. I'm doing it at an angle as well. So at first, when you add on the first couple, you think, oh gosh, how's that going to look like a wreath that's, you know, kind of going against the grain. But as you carry on and build it up, it does work out. It's just a kind of slow and steady approach, which it's good for us all, isn't it? So yeah, again, keep making your bunches, spruce. This time maybe use a bit of the pine and leave the thyme. You can just, yeah, mix it up really. If you've got any foliage in your garden, buried ivy always works well. If you've got any twigs that you've seen or some seed heads, things like eucalyptus works well. Viburnum berries. There's lots of little bits that you can find and cut up similar to the foliage that will, you know, make your wreath that extra bit special. So again, I'm binding on, making another bunch. Yeah, you can definitely switch off doing this kind of thing. It's like really relaxing task, I think. Again, just keep going. And you want to lay down the bunches over where you've just been. So you see I'm placing it at the same angle. So you're not kind of, sometimes instinct tells you want to do it like that to get a circle. You lay it over diagonally. That ensures you get like a full, bulky, really, you know, luxurious wreath, and all the stems are hidden, which is important. You don't want to see any wires. It's the sign of the pro. Okay, so that's 3 bunches there. Yeah, you can just keep going until you get all the way around. You can see it's beginning to take shape. here. If you run out of the bigger stems, you know, just keep cutting more. You will have enough foliage in each box to complete the wreath. So just go be careful and use a couple stems each time. Don't think, oh, I'm going to use everything in the first half, because then you'll have like a little skinny end. But yeah, evenly space it out. So there we go. So yeah, once you've kind of added your bunches, you want to keep going all the way through. Yeah, as I said, adding the berries, twigs, seeds, whatever you've got in your garden that will make it that bit special. Here I've added in some rose hips, which are lovely. There's a bit of skimia, so a bit of red foliage. So you can see this is what we're aiming for. There's berries ivy here, which you may have in the boxes too. So you can see it's a really kind of, yeah, big lovely shape. You can add on a big bow. There's so much you can do with it. I'm going to show you how to wire in the accessories that you'll have in your packs. So wiring your accessories, you've got your pine cones, you've got seed heads, lime slices. Going for that natural kind of option, I think looks lovely against all your different foliage. I'll show you how to wire the cones. You've got your pack of wires. You want to run the wire along the bottom rung of the pine cone, so it's nice and secure. You want both ends to meet and then twist, make like a little dog there. So then you've got that long wire for your cone. Place them on the wreath where you think you'd like them, covering up any spaces you may have. I like them in twos, or you can have like a cluster of 3 pine cones and then 2, you know, the other side. It doesn't have to be like plonk, 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 like 3, really symmetrical. Think about nature, it grows in clusters, or you have like one branch which has got a lot more pine cones on than others. I think that's a more cool way of doing it. So yeah, you can, the great thing about wiring everything up first, rather than just going full steam ahead, wiring and plonking it in, is you can move it. So if you don't like something there, you know, it's easy before you've committed. Seed heads, again, similar kind of feel. Get your wire, push it through. These are like a really papery feel to them. Bend it round and then twist, and then that's supported. It's just a different look, but it's similar natural kind of feel. So I've got 3 of these, which yeah, just look amazing with all the foliage. So once we've wired up these, I'll show you how to secure them into the wreath. What you want to do is get your wire, push it straight through the moss, so it will come out the other side, you see. Get your other cone, shove it through, kind of arrange them. You can twist them together so they're nice and secure. And what you must do, bend it and push it straight back up, so the sharp end of the wire is in the moss. It's not going to be against your door. And then it's flush, so that's nice, it protects your door. So I've got clusters there. I'll pop these 2 in here. It's absolutely fine if you kind of spike through some of the leaves. You want them just nestled in amongst the foliage, just looking lovely and natural. Think about whether you'd like a ribbon. I always love like a big bright red bow. Some people just want to go all classy and stylish with no bow, but yeah, or a nice subtle sage green or something. That's always a popular choice. Think about where you'd like your bow, whether you want to make room for it at the top or at the bottom with big trails. This one's not having a bow, au naturel, so I'm popping my seed heads. I'm going to put this one with a cone, so you don't have to put them in twos. Mix it up a little bit. That always looks. Mix it up a bit. You know, nature's not uniform, is it? So I don't think our wreath should be really either. Put those in. So yeah, it's looking really beautiful. And the main thing is just have a go. Each one's going to be different. You've all got your own unique style, your own unique take on it. It's always amazing with the wreath workshops when everyone can be given the same amount of ingredients. At the end of the night, you just see them all. They're all completely different. So that is the beauty of making your own wreath and just having a go. I mean, it's, yeah, a sad thing not to be able to do the workshops this year, but this is just going to be just as much fun. You know, you can get all your Prosecco out at home, your mince pies, you can do it all with your mates online, so you can all feel like you are still together. It's a really fun way, I think, of starting the kind of Christmas tradition that we've all been accustomed to of like attending our wreath workshops. For me, that means the start of the festive season. So yeah, I think this is a really good, natural, beautiful wreath that you can make yourself at home. More space, as I said, great for the environment. You've got your main ingredients in the pack, but feel free to add, you know, all your extra bits and just come up with something that a little bit unique. But yeah, have a go. I hope all the hints and tips are here, but there'll be more online. Check out the Instagram, you know, at the Rose Shed. There's always loads more help and advice, you know, seasonal kind of bouquets and wreath ideas. So in the lead up to Christmas, yeah, we'll all be going crazy for it. So there'll be inspiration central over there. And yeah, I would love to see all your finished creations at the end. Put them on the door, take a photo, love to see them. You know, not that anyone gets competitive with their neighbours, but who's got the best door wreath? That's what we like to see. And yeah, make sure you tag us, and then we look forward to seeing you all, and yeah, have a happy Christmas.